The New York Times declares the fight over the filling of Justice Scalia's vacancy on the Supreme Court an epic Washington political battle. Some epic. The argument appears to be, should Republicans block this very special judicial appointment this one time? And that's why they've already lost. Republicans should have blocked every single Democrat Supreme Court nominee of our lifetime. There should be no liberals allowed on the court. Zero. But Republicans have been fooled into playing this one for you, one for us game with appointees, effectively turning the court into a legislative body. I've always opposed conservatives celebrating a Supreme Court decision as if they agree with it as a win. There are no wins on the court. You win at the ballot box. The court justices are the referees of democracy. To rely on them for wins is like relying on instant replay to get you through football season. The left has successfully defined originalism as a fringe legal theory. It isn't. It is the very definition of American democracy. We decide our own laws, and they stand, unless they're specifically forbidden by the Constitution. The fact that we've allowed that to change is the biggest political failure of the past century. That has been way more transformative than Obama could ever be. Remember Jay Leno's dancing Itos? That's what the court should look like, but instead it should be 9 Justice Scalias. And any honest liberal should agree with me. Yeah. With a fully conservative court, you can still pass all the liberal laws you want. You just can't cheat. And they have been cheating for years. They know they're cheating, and we've let them. It's our fault, as usual. Guy, Republicans have never played hardball on this issue. It's high time they did. No more liberals on the court. Zero.
Huh. I mean, I support the idea.
There you go.
In theory, I'm not quite sure how that works in practice. I will say, as a sop to you on hardball, I do think that the time has come here for Republicans to draw a line in the sand and say, this election season is underway. The American people are in the process of picking a new president. There is plenty of precedent to not allow, not provide the consent to a lame duck president's Supreme Court pick at the end of his term in an election year. They should hold on and say the next president's going to pick Scalia's replacement. I think that's an appropriate measure. It's standard procedure, and they got to buckle down because there's going to be a lot of anger over that and a lot of demagoguery, and they've got to hold strong.
Hold strong, that's it. And of course, I agree with Guy, there should be a line in the sand, but I think the line has been backed all the way up. I think we should push the line forward. What do you think, Tim?
Well, I mean, I'm very concerned about this. I'm a gay guy, and I don't want, I want to have everything my parents had. I want to get married. I want to get divorced, and I want to kind of raise a kid. So So to me, this is a big threat. Who gets on this court? So it's a big. So I think I got to be honest. I think maybe Obama should nominate somebody that's going to protect all. My.
Well, he's going to nominate someone. They're just not going to confirm it.
Well, I mean, I guess they have the right to do that too. But I don't want anyone that's on that court that's going to limit my ability to have a wedding at Red Robin.
There we go. Well, listen, Jessica, let me ask you this: why are liberals so lazy that they can't pass their own laws and they have to cry to the court? And by the way, thanks for coming. You look great today.
Thanks so much. I'm sorry, the premise that
crying
liberals
to the
are
court.
lazy.
Liberals cry to the court.
Conservatives
solve
cry
our
to the
problems
court.
for
us. What are
us.
you talking about?
I don't like when conservatives do it.
Okay, but you just blamed liberals.
I'm blaming you, yes. I'm starting with you,
fine.
but you know I have no love for conservatives who cry to the court as well.
You just don't like crybabies.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I want to return to the first point, though, the guy was making about no precedent for this. We have seen 19 Supreme Court justices confirmed in election years. So this has happened before. I don't think that it will. But, there's precedent on both sides here. And what I think is interesting, you might not think it's interesting, maybe I'm the only one who thinks it's interesting, but to look at actually the makeup of the lower courts. Because what's going to happen is the lower court decisions are going to stand.
That's it. You're so right.
Like they should be sitting?
No, I think it's so right. That's why, again, that's very bad for conservatives. They think this is going to be great, having 8 justices.
And guess what? We rule the lower courts.
That's it.
So you can either, I think it's better for conservatives to get someone nominated and confirm them. If Obama puts up a moderate.
He won't.
Why won't he? I mean,
he
what's
never does. That's not who he is.
When has Obama ever done anything close to being a centrist? Ever, except that ridiculous speech he gave about the red and the blue states about 15 years ago. Oh, come on. I mean,
they do.
President special.
President Obama has never done anything but hardball politics, and that's what he aims to do here, and they're not going to let him. Obviously, why are we even discussing this, Stacey? I want to discuss whether my idea of 9 Supreme Court justices, all heavily conservative. Yes, That's what we need, because liberals then can make all the laws they want as long as they're not unconstitutional.
Well, we have balances. I actually think that he should elect Michelle Obama, because listen to this. Listen, I have a point.
You knew I was going to, that I have a problem with
He's been working for 8 years straight. She's been off with the kids, right, doing the first lady thing.
Yeah, she's been home making bread.
She can,
She's had an apron
She
on that
definitely
whole time.
hasn't had carbs in many years.
many years, and now she can work for the rest of her life. So there you go, feminism.
That's true. That wouldn't, I wouldn't put it by.
Could he nominate himself?
Well,
yes.
That would be amazing.
Could he really do that? There's no precedent for that, is there?
No, but
Well, Hillary floated the waiting, like, if I am going to appoint
because
someone, we could talk about Obama, and the public did not like that.
He wants to make a lot of money in his post-presidency, which he will,
Right.
which he couldn't do on the court.
Right.
Otherwise, I mean, I think it'd be something he would love to influence public policy from a hard left perspective for the rest of his life, but he's going to be a little bit too busy making money.
This is not a hard left man.
He's not a hard left man. No, I don't think
he is.
Look, I mean,
He's
I
pretty
think
left.
that is settled. Tim, I'm saying,
liberal.
why don't you answer my question that Jessica refused to answer?
Yeah.
That why are liberals so lazy? Now you say
They're
want
lazy people,
and you are too, Tim, because
Yes,
you said
I
you
am.
want the court to do your work for you.
Yes.
Why not pass
I want a lot of people
the
to do my work
laws
for me.
that you want instead of going to the court and begging them?
Because they don't have public support always. A lot of liberals want to pass laws that don't have the public support, so they have to go to an activist judge so
Why
that
did
judge.
you just do that? You're
Yeah.
never supposed to admit
I know.
that.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's like number one liberal rule.
I'm on no one's team. I just
right.
want to say that that's probably the case.
Yes, I agree,
You know?
and that's wonderful. I'm
Can I
glad you
ask-
said it.